Okay, greetings everyone. Welcome to the Gundam Explained podcast. This is episode 39. My FPS is all messed up. I'm like looking at this and yeah, hopefully you can bear with that. For those watching, for those that are listening, the audio version, it should be fine. But I tell you, I have had a week of being challenged tech-wise with all types of technology. Oh boy, I got a new computer. I've been wanting to do this forever. I got a new one. It's awesome. There's some overheating issues, so I'm having that being looked at. And so the videos I made this week, I have some behind the scenes on the Patreon, but videos I made this week, which we'll get into in a second, I wonder how my levels are. You guys let me know the audio levels if it's crazy or something. But I would edit them, and then Premiere would crash, and I lost, and I had to redo it. And then so I again sent in this computer to get repaired. I'm on my old desktop, but then I'm seeing this like FPS issue with the camera. It's nuts. I bet when I was on the new machine, I saved some settings in Streamlabs, so now that I'm on back on my computer, it's picking up some. I don't know. I checked everything. I bet if I did a reset, everything would be good. But you know what? There's no time for a reset, right? Because there's only time for Gundam. Yeah, we're all good. So anyway, yeah, guys, thanks for joining in. Yeah, where do I even start? Yeah, because there's always a lot to talk about, right? Well, yeah, if you haven't, please subscribe. Join our Discord if you haven't joined that yet. Lots of fun to be had there. There's currently that contest going on, Gunpla building contest, and there's already some awesome entries. But go ahead if you want to join, or if you haven't yet, post pictures of a recent build. I decided to extend it to give people more time to build. I think it's going to be beginning of June that we'll pick the winners, and you'll get a what was that called? The Barbados Taurus. Barbados. Yeah, you get one of those. Speaking of one of those, there was someone that won a giveaway, and they lived in a South American country, and it got lost, the giveaway to them. So I'm going to find another way to get them something. But man, that really bothered me when I heard that, because he was waiting on it, and I gave him the tracking number. Oh man. But anyway, some other news. So there's a Patreon, and I've announced that before. Check it out. If you're interested in supporting the channel, there's some perks. One of them will be April 30th at 6 p.m. Central. There will be a watch-along, and I think it's going to be G-Savior. So we'll chill in Discord, webcams on, mics, watch G-Savior, and just chat, chill, have fun, talk Gundam. Some other things, and I'll probably start it this weekend, is research streams. So there'll be time where I'm just doing some research, some Gundam research, whatever it is that could lead to a video, might not lead to a video. But yeah, there'll be watch-alongs for those. And also, for supporters. And also I'm thinking of doing it where when I watch an episode, that it will be the same thing. It'll be kind of the watch-alongs. But you know what? I want to call out, we've got RX Croissant here. Good to see you. Studio WD. I've seen this machine before from the Mobile Suit Gundam 0099 Moon Crisis manga. I'm not too familiar with that, but yeah, I want to talk about this mass-produced new Gundam. I think I've seen it before, but it's just today that I really got into it. Hunter Iggy, Gundam Extended, I have a question. Do you think we will see Gundam Mudrock in Gundam Evolution? That would be cool. I mean, it is a unique type of Gundam. It would probably be similar to the gun tank, maybe more mobility because of the support style that it has. Oh, G Norwood, in Just in Time. Yeah, great to see you there. Shield Maiden, a Sail audio level sound okay right now. Well, thank you. And you guys let me know if not. G Savior, I love that movie. That is great to hear because it is a fun movie. It's good. Wait a minute. You even have the model kit? That is sick. Shield Maiden Sailor. I saw the Barbados in Target today. They were just stocked in the store and had a whole bunch of new kits on the shelves. Yeah, that's good info. Like, if you go to a local Target, you'll be surprised all of the kits that they have. It's really cool how much we really are seeing Gundam everywhere. We're seeing the Gunpla kits. places like Target, and then all the video games, and we'll get to some of that later, are going cross-platform. Yeah, so very cool. But, oh yeah, that's right. Studio WD, you're talking about, you even have the model kit of the G-Savior. One that's awesome. Please send us a picture. Unless you were talking about another one. But also, our very own Santo Bell has a custom one that he is working on. And there's pics of that in the Discord as well. RX Croissant, Gunpla and Target. I haven't been there in so long. I should go back. Yeah, they've got Gunpla. They have the action figures, like that new Gundam Universe line. They even have the Infinites, I think it's called. I did a review on it. They're like smaller and you can take them apart. And then they have the little light up ones. They're just doing all sorts of that. They also added a couple battle log kits to the shelves at Hobby Lobby this week too. Healers. Oh, okay. So that's good too, because I've gone in there for some model kits. I've seen Star Wars stuff, but never really Gundam. Yes, this is a G-Savior model kit. Now that is awesome. I have on Mandarake, I have like the wish list when it tells me it comes up, and it does every once in a while. And it's about 60 to 80, and it's like, do I get it? Do I not? Eventually I will. Eventually I will. Well, cool. Yeah, let's jump over to the screen share. And hopefully there's no typos. I just threw this up. I was making a horizontal thingy like I did last time. I'm trying to figure this stuff out. But thanks to the supporters, and there's the Patreon if you're interested. There's a supporter level. Just if you just want to throw in $1 to help. Every dollar helps because it pays for a lot of the hosting costs for things. But also cyber new types. Real quick, it's like the cyber new types will be featured as supporters on all the videos. New types will only be on the podcasts. Yeah, I think that's how I have it. But for both those levels, cyber new types, you'll be able to join the watch along for streams or the movie night we do. And another thing with cyber new types too, if there's ever anything you want to promote, I'll have it where it's on every podcast. Like I'll probably like figure out up there, down here somewhere where I'll put like a little image or something, something to do. The Barbatorus, I'm always gonna have trouble saying that, is a dream for any custom Gunpla maker. Yeah, I think so, because it is sick. I have one here unopened. I haven't even built it yet. I need to do it. I love the look of it. And there's so much you could probably do with something like that. But yeah, let's talk real quick about previous videos. So we'll talk more about Gundam Evolution, but I did that live network test, which was pretty cool. I was able to test out all the units to see what they're like. And then I tried to get into some games, and I did. It took a while. After that, it was great. So the network test worked out. Then I had the video Jedi versus New Type, because I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I see some similarities, and it's interesting to talk about them. If anyone else has any interesting ideas for a discussion or video I should do about Star Wars along with Gundam, let me know. I was thinking of making a montage of all the scenes within not only Gundam and Star Wars, but Aliens, where they all seem to do similar things. And there's other coincidences between them too, which is quite wild. And then, yeah, the latest episode of 8th MS Team, yeah, episode 6, I called it Emotional Damage. Just because it's really what it was about. But this was an excellent episode, and you'll have to check out the video if you haven't, because I detail like all the world building it does while doing some intense character development and world building in terms of like repairing damaged mobile suits. Some of the offshoot technology they use. There was use of drones, the antenna, yeah, very, very good episode. Yeah, so very cool there. What else was I getting? You know what? I want to be able to go through all the comments, and it's really hard for me too, because there's so many good ones. So I mean, I'll grab a couple from here. So Lucas Garrett, I see new types before a Benager links as level 1 to level 2 force users. Also, they are low-level force-using technopaths. They can mentally control funnels, and the synchronization between pilot and Gundam is stronger depending on the level of proficiency or an innate potential, is something akin to Anakin Skywalker before his fall to the dark side of the Force. By far the most powerful new type remains Benager Lynx when he controlled the Unicorn Gundam in Luminous Crystal Body Mode. Nothing more powerful has yet to be witnessed since then. And that's a very good point, because when we see how Benager utilizes it, and I didn't even bring this up in the video, so that's a good point. When we see how Benager utilizes the Unicorn, that goes beyond some things we see with Force users in their own machinery in the Star Wars universe. So very cool. Shield Maiden Sailor, yes, and I've been meaning to comment on your Star Wars video, but my week has been too busy. Hey, no problems there. Get to it when you can. Always love your comments. But yeah, when things are busy, they're busy. And my wife decided to get a puppy. And, I mean, she asked me. And I was like, no. And I was like, all right, because, the kids like it too. And that has been a lot of work. A puppy, it's a husky. That's a lot of work. That has tired me out quite a bit. So yeah, I can understand being busy. So that's cool. And then the mention about, the color scheme of RX-78 was to sell toys, nothing more. I think in hand-to-hand combat without ships, Mecha Jedi Sith would murder new types, but in combat with ships or Mecha, new types would dominate. Yeah, I agree with that. But with the color scheme of the RX-78, it's funny because I agree, and originally, it was where it was going to be that G3 color, I think, of the RX-78. And they changed it to sell toys, but I still like the look. There is something, or the color. There's something about the color that almost, in a way, is glorifying an aspect of the war, because why make something colorful? I don't know. Something interesting about that. But yeah, there's other comments in here. If you guys haven't, jump into the comments. I do read them, even if I don't get to them or like reply to them. I do read them all, and there's always awesome ideas in there. Let's see what this this one here. Oh yeah, and I've been wearing a hat lately because my hair is getting unwieldy, and my beard, I've been growing that out. Honestly, I don't know what to do about it. There's something about just growing this out. I might cut it eventually. Oh, Neowave gets deep. This is why. So this was the emotional damage episode of 08 MS Team, where the characters were going through a lot of emotions. Mikhail has a long-distance relationship. This is why long-distance relationships don't really work out. The distance doesn't make the heart grow fonder. The lack of interaction, experience sharing destroys the connection that was once there. It's one of the reasons why loved ones of soldiers at war cheat or outright break things off. Just ask veterans, and they'll tell you stories, either their own or their comrades. In the case of BB, she's afraid of suffering heartache at a potential loss of a loved one and thinks it's easier to just break things off because the stress is becoming too much to bear. Yeah, and not being immediately with them, it's easier to want to break it off because you're not getting that daily interaction. I've done long distance in the past, when I was much younger, and, it probably wasn't realistic. I can understand maybe if you were in a long-term committed relationship and had to do long distance maybe for a little bit, but I don't want to speak for everyone. Arx Croissant, have you seen the Sid Mead's interview of how he came up for the ideas of Turn A? It's absolutely amazing, and learnings of origins make you like MS more. So I've seen that there's a book, and I haven't even read it, that's free online, I guess, about Sid Mead. I don't know if it goes into that. If there's a video, that would be cool. Yeah, because I'm a huge fan of Aliens and some of his designs in other movies, so that's something I really need to check out eventually, and I plan to. As I get more into the Turn A stuff, which is getting closer, I definitely will. Rogue New Type, it's one of the best episodes in Gundam for showing like the slice of life of soldiers and MS units during the One-Year War, and a detailed look into the MS maintenance operations setup and training. And so the reason I agree with this is because the previous episode I didn't like too much. It seemed filler. It was all character development within the war, but it was a weird story, where they just decided to go off and party in the local village, knowing Zeon soldiers can be anywhere, and then they get caught. And, but this episode did a really good job of, they have a current operation. It's training, preparing, for the Obsolus, coming across it again. But they're going through stuff as they're doing it. Really well done. Hey, Xander, baby, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Yeah. So comments there. Very cool. Was there anything else I wanted to touch on this? No, I think we're good there. Okay. So on Patreon, it's easier for me to get through comments either by emailing me at gundamexplain@gmail.com or maybe even on the Patreon. There's just so many that for me to be able to answer them, I have to kind of figure out a good way to do it. So I asked, hey, post a question that you want featured on live stream. So Ian, if you were in charge of a video game developer, could make a Gundam game in any style you wanted with unlimited funds, what would that game be? And I think we've talked about this before, but I love continuing to talk about it because it's one of my favorite subjects. Like, I love video games, I love Gundam. And I think one of the ideas I had was an open world, Souls-like Gundam game where the idea is it just starts where you're just on the moon, right? Just think of that noise when you first start a level in Souls, and then it says where you are. I could just say moon. And in the distance, you're just seeing all the battling taking place, all the purple explosions, lasers, and you're like in a damaged GM. And let's say you just have a beam saber, and you're just walking through like battles or walking through like damage. It has that slow, methodical pace to it. And then you're coming across maybe some half-destroyed Zaku's or whatever, and then you kind of fight or whatever, and then you can kind of take the scraps or whatever from different mobile suits lying around and kind of customize your mobile suit. But then eventually you get thrusters that allow you to leave the moon, and then you're bouncing from asteroid to asteroid, and then maybe getting to a ship, and then the ship can be like fast travel to another ship, and then you can fast travel like Earth, colonies, whatever. And again, it doesn't show objectives. That's the one thing I like about Souls-likes and Elden Ring. The big talk right now in the game industry is having these open world games that aren't showing you what to do all the time. So think that you have to like explore, like get to a colony, and because you think something's going on there, and it could, who knows what the story could be. It could be you're just trying to meet back up with your unit, maybe, or something. And then as you explore, you're finding out like what's going on behind the scenes between the Principality of Zeon and the Federation, and you're kind of seeing the bad stuff that goes on in the background. I think having that slow, methodical combat where you can explore the Gundam universe and like really be in whatever mobile suit you want. Yeah. But the other game would be an RTS. I would make it just like Command & Conquer Generals or Tiberian Sun, and really have it where I think the main units would be soldiers and tanks and stuff, but when you would build out mobile suits, you wouldn't have a lot. And it would be like mid to late game. You might have up to maybe 10 mobile suits because they would be bigger on screen, a lot slower, and that would be when the battles really get intense. I think a lot of it would be about the resource management, the units you have, maybe some space support. I mean, one day. Although there's one game I've been thinking about making, and I've been messing with Game Maker programs for this, and it's a think of Legend of Zelda, but it's Victory Gundam. Starts in like the forest. It plays the Victory Gundam music because that reminds me of Zelda, and you walk around, talk to characters, you search around, but anytime there's combat, then it's like a side-scrolling shooter like Gradius or R-Type. I think that'd be sick. Archer, what is MS selection like? Do you select what type of unit you like? Melee, ranged, or balanced? No, I think it would be where you either select that you are with the Principality of Zeon, the Federation, or I don't know what's the word, where you a defection. So it would be like 3 you choose from, and those really make certain aspects stronger than when you play. I mean, really, you could end up being Federation and have more Zaku stuff, but it wouldn't be as strong as if you were a Zeon. But then you can mix and match parts. And you can actually, different weapons, like you can be like a GM with a beam saber and really level up your beam saber proficiency and your jetpack stuff, so you can like zoom around and stuff. Or you could be all about like guns, and then you later get a shoulder cannon if you want to do that. So it'd be like, yeah, you're getting all the different weapons, equipping them, even the armor pieces. You can even go all tank and get the Choban armor like the Alex have, and you'll be slower, but maybe that would allow you to be more tanky against like bosses that would be like mobile armors or something. Yeah, I think that would be really cool. Fetty Xeon and non-aligned colonies like Side 6. That is a good idea because they do have their own mobile suits. Sometimes it's like security or police. Yeah, that would be a good idea. But the idea is it's the middle of the 1 year war and it's like you're trying to find your way and navigate. Yeah, so very cool. G. Norwood, if the Gundam universe was real, what timeline would you pick to live in, and which side would you be on? You know what? That's a good one because it's like I'm really most familiar with Universal Century, but that doesn't seem like a great timeline. Just because there's a lot of death and destruction. G. Norwood says, I think I would pick G Gundam just to get to see the giant robots fight every 4 years, and my side would be Team American. I know I cheated a little there. Well, I haven't watched all of G Gundam, but from what I watched, that was actually pretty enjoyable, and that concept is interesting. So I wish I would have had a better answer for that, but that's a good one. That's a good one. Shumailing Sailor, or have a faction of mercenaries. Oh, yeah, that is a good... Okay, so that's a good idea. Yeah, what if you... Yeah, it's Fetty Xeon, non-aligned, but then bounty hunter smugglers. Yeah, because then you could... that depends on what your starting mobile suit is like. Yeah, that's a good idea. There's a lot to go there. I swear, like, I would do all the work. If Bandai Namco was like, okay, Adam, we want to make this game, I would... Hey, I make these presentations for my job all the time. I would spend hours and hours detailing this game, how it would work, the combat system. I would then get with the From Software and be like, hey, can you help with this? You guys know mechs. You guys know Souls. Let's do Gundam that way. They did, though. They did Unicorn Gundam on PS3. It's just emulated. It's a little buggy, so I need to get a PS3. I need to. So, very cool. Okay, and so here's another one on the YouTube channel. I put, what kit will you build next? Because I'm really curious. Like, I've been getting the itch to build again. So I have 3 kits on pre-order. I put a post about it in on the Patreon page. Again, I will do videos of them. I can't wait. But Tyler Jackson, strongly looking at the high grade Victory and V2. Yeah, I have the V2. The V2, and I think it's called something else. It has like the whole bang on there. Robert Westfall, I'd like to build the Eclipse. So would I. Truck-kun, Real Grade Sazabi and MG Dynames. I don't know that one, but I think that's 00, right? The RG Sazabi, that would be great. Gunpla Goon, Ground Gundam Urban Combat Type. Yeah, that's a good one. Let me actually search that one, because yeah, this one looks cool, and it is kind of readily available. Yeah, that one looks cool. I love it. And I think this is really what's on that, battle log or whatever. So it's not like in Universal Century, but it's based on that, and it looks great. Let's see. Zolo, the high-grade Blue Destiny Unit 1. That's a good one. Shingzuka, high-grade UC Full Armor Unicorn. That'd be a good one. Okay, and then a gamer, just a gamer, high-grade Gundam X Divider. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's pretty cool. Wow, look at the price on that. Huh. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a good one. That's a good one. Shield Mainland Sela, or maybe corporate entities like Anaheim Electronics Research Foundation have their own independent agencies that switch sides when it's their when it suits your interest. Yeah, that's a great idea. Man, you're really coming up with these ideas pretty good. Yeah, so if this game is going to be made, I will then have you help me. How about that? Arx Croissant, what would be the likely outcome of bringing an MS like Turn A to our world? Would it add conflict or control for its power? Well, I don't know. I'm not that familiar with Turn A yet, and I need to be familiar with that. So I keep itching. Yeah, because I got Victory, because I'm going to be going through that. Because pretty soon I'm going to do an F91 review. I'm not going to do all of Victory because that'll take a long time. That would be like a whole year of videos. So I'm going to, like, the first episode's a good kind of way to start, and then I might bounce around. And then I'm gonna do the first couple episodes of Turn A, because I started the first episode of Turn A, and I could tell it's gonna take some time to get into. Dynames, if I'm saying that right, is 00. Okay, great, thank you. Zionic Shadow, good to see you, man. Hey, bud, sorry I'm late. Got stuck on GBO2 doing limited mission. Hey, man, that's a great excuse, especially when you can just listen to this while you're playing. That is a great idea, to just listen while you're playing. Oh, man, especially when it gets out on PC. And actually, I think we're going to get to that here in just a second. So, yeah, speaking of GBO2, actually, I guess we got this Rick Dom Stutzer joins the battle. That thing has shoulder missile launchers. That's pretty awesome. I haven't been in GBO2 since I've been back, and I need to. And honestly, I love the fact that it's going to be on PC, even though I'd kind of have to do things over, but I kind of don't mind. I'm probably going to win different stuff. They're probably... And is that tonight? Does anyone know? Let me... It's either tonight or this weekend where they're doing the PC thingy. Let's see. GBO2 PC. All righty. Keep in mind that the first episode of Victory is actually the fourth reason for... Yeah, and I didn't mind that. When I first got into Gundam, that first episode really pulled me in, so it was kind of like the recap, how they made it, so then it went into everything else. I didn't mind that. John Shadow, and I'm off from work till Tuesday, so I'll have a lot of time to play more. Oh, isn't that nice? Easter, time off work. Okay. So... GBO2, I'm curious what kind of drops they're going to have on PC. Are they going to do something in a way to allow PC players to like catch up with console players? Let's see. Is anyone... Someone was this 52 minutes ago? Okay, so I guess it's supposed to be right now, but it hasn't launched yet. Look in Discord, I'll post test time. Oh, okay, I'm gonna check that. And then, speaking of Discord, yeah, let me log in so someone can call in if you want. Yeah, let me do that actually. Yeah, so yeah, RX Croissant, it's not gonna have crossplay, which is disappointing, but this game is kind of older, based on an older engine. And then it's not gonna have cross saves. That's what it's like. All that work I did on the PlayStation version is not going to be, and it's like, it's okay. Okay, session 1, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific. Okay, so, and then second half, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Pacific. Okay, so I might get on later. And then session 2 is on the 21st. Oh, 21st through the 24th. Oh, that's good. So it's going to just run that whole time. Yeah, because I'm definitely going to want to play it. So thanks, Zionic Shadow. I appreciate it. I'm definitely going to want to play it on PC. Yeah, I just hope I get the... oh, man, there's so many suits I would want to get, actually, now that I think about it, because, yeah, if I'm starting over, they got to do something for PC players. They've got to. Anyway, let me jump into the call-in podcast. So if anyone wants to call in, at the Discord, you could jump into where it says call-in waiting room. And I'm watching the chat, so if I don't see you in the call-in waiting room, I'll... Oh, and that reminded me, speaking of call-in, Robert he emailed me to want to tell everyone that he can't make it. He's usually on all the time. Yeah, I hope you guys have a good time and everything. So, yeah, Robert had another commitment. Okay, on PC, it would make sense for MS turn speeds to be crazy, since it would be annoying to keep turn so it's not crossplay. Well, yeah, so I'm wondering about that, because on the controller, when you move the analog, it's slower. It's not like a Twitch shooter in a way. So I'm wondering with mouse controls, I doubt they're going to make it... I think you're going to play with a controller, because even when I was in the menu, I had to use my controller to navigate the menu, even though it says it's not working. And then to exit the game, I had to hit Alt F4, and then it said, "Do you want to exit?" And I had to use the controller to exit. So I think they're maybe requiring controller. I'm sure keyboard and mouse will work, but I bet when it comes to the mouse, they're not going to increase the turn speed. GBO2 is banned in Belgium using loot boxes. Well, that is interesting, because I do think the loot box stuff isn't right. I do have to control myself. I know how easy it is for some people to get addicted and want to pay a lot of money and not get what they want, so they pay more. I do think that's kind of wrong. And it just could be, this is a Japanese developed game. It could be that there's a little bit more discipline in Japan when it comes to that sort of thing in the general public. And it's interesting, in China, they are banning a lot of game time. They're limiting the amount of time people can play games anyway. It's very interesting when we see stuff like that, because people don't need to be controlled 100%, but there are things out there that can affect people in a negative way, and if they don't have the right resources or help around them, it could ruin their lives. So I have my account on PS4, but stopped playing because of the loot boxes. Yeah, it's not the best. It's not the best. Yeah, loot boxes are pretty much gambling. I know. GBO2 will make players in Belgium get VPNs. Okay, there's that. Although, I do want to say, though, when it comes to VPNs, I know sometimes we see people promote them. They're not that safe. I work in cybersecurity, and from what I've learned, from what I've witnessed, VPNs are not safe. You might be blocking what your ISP is seeing to allow you to have your traffic go wherever, but there's nothing stopping people from intercepting your connection to gather your data. That's the thing. I spent $100 on GBO2 because I'm an idiot. This was when I had more money to burn. Yeah, I think I spent 50 one time to get a bunch of coins to get something, and I felt bad, and I didn't get what I wanted. I think Japan has some strict laws against gambling. Yeah, so I was familiar, or that sounded familiar, but maybe just they allow games or mobile games, because even mobile games seem to have that aspect. I only spend money on the special suits I want, yeah. But yeah, sometimes I just won't get them. But if you do the step up, I think it almost guarantees you, but then you're spending like $100 on a suit, yeah. Speaking of Japan, I tell you, Gundam has really gotten me into Japan. There's a show on HBO Max called Tokyo Vice, and it is sick. I haven't even finished the first episode. It's so long. Unless it's a movie, but I think it just said, I think I was on episode 1, which is really long, but it shows a lot of details of Japan. Yeah, if you guys haven't heard of that, check that out. It's really cool. Hey, Ian, how's it going? Howdy, friends. Did I come in at a bad time? You did not. Perfect timing. Although you did miss the question that you put in, so you'll have to check that out later. I loved answering that. Anything about video games got me. Mad Matt, the heavy metal mecha pilot. Love me some GBO2, but Gundam Extreme Versus Maxi Boost On is where it's at, bro. Yeah, that's actually fun. I really do like that. I just haven't played it in a long time. I'll need to get back into that. It's a shame because I enjoyed the game. It's skill-based, and fighting in team battles is the most fun balance. I just wish there were no loot boxes instead. Just sell all. Yeah, that is what they need to do. Just have a storefront, and it could change every once in a while, where it's like Fortnite. And I've been teaching the kids this, and I think it's been helping, especially with the youngest. Fortnite store will refresh. There'll be new skins. He'll get excited. He says, I just want this. This is the one I want the most. I won't want another one. He'll get it, and then their store refreshes. Oh, I want this. But over time, he's gotten to learn and understand to save his money, to wait for the skin that he really, really wants. And the thing is, if you see it that way, you could manage your money, still spend so that they're making money, but do it at your leisure as you want, not have to guess. Yeah, that's a very good point. I'm a free player. I'm still saving up for Unicorn Gundam. Yeah, that'd be great if that happens. And I think if they do Unicorn, then that opens them up. What was I saying? Like cost 1,200 or something rooms. I would think it would have to be that high. And then you can probably add Penelope and Kasai Gundam. Maybe even get into F91. That would be interesting. SS, I'd rather play a classic game where you win missions or goals to get new suits or characters. Paying extra just spoils the fun to me. I agree. Biggest example is with Halo Infinite. There's barely any content in that game, and even the Battle Pass stuff barely has anything. If you guys are interested, I do have my Blue Gamer YouTube back up and running. I'm doing my podcast again, kind of in the same format, and I talk about the failings of Halo Infinite and how they are really taking advantage of the community. And I think it stops a game from lasting long and innovating, and it kills franchises, in my opinion. I think the lack of content and the way they're doing it is going to kill a franchise. That, along with this Halo TV show, and I talk about that too, it's you really got to treat a property where you respect the fan base. You can still cater to the mainstream, but you've got to do it in a safe way, like I think the Sonic movies have done, and I talk about that on my Blue Gamer podcast. I'm a huge Sonic fan. I liked the first Sonic movie, even though I could tell some of it was for kids. Some of it, the story wasn't even the second one, but it did enough fan service that I enjoyed it, and it wasn't cringy, like disappointing. So Japan does have strict gambling laws, which is why there are no casinos. Pachinko and gacha are the only things legal due to some loopholes. Okay, interesting. Mad Matt, the heavy metal mecha pilot, not to mention I main High New Gundam, Zeta Gundam, and Abito, Double O, and Barbados Lupus Rex like a mofo. Yeah, that's one thing I like about that game is they do have a lot of mobile suits that you can use. And it even has a single-player component to you where it goes through missions and there's boss battles. So I want the Banshee GBO too. Yeah, that's a good point. There will be enough suits that are powerful enough that they could do that. Matt, the heavy metal mecha pilot. Halo should have ended at 3 in reach. Yeah, because it's 343. Now I gotta say, Halo Infinite multiplayer or Halo Infinite controls and combat in this is amazing. The content though is gone. I played it so much when it first came out, and I stopped. My main in GBO2 was Pale Rider Cavalry. Nice. It's surprisingly good. Playing Code Fairy helps in getting new MSs. That's true. And Code Fairy's good. I keep forgetting about that game. It's pretty fun. Heard many good things about Code Fairy. Not gonna lie. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it is good. I've beaten the main missions. I haven't beaten any of the side missions yet, or a few. But I'm trying to go back to beat them on normal and hard. It gets hard, but that's the only way to unlock anything. So, by the way, the call room on Discord is for what exactly? Oh, yeah, so if you jump in the call-in waiting room, I'll pull you into the call in the podcast, and if you just have a question or a comment, or you want to comment on whatever I'm talking about, it's like calling into a radio show. Matt, the heavy metal mecha pilot, would love for an actual single-player storyline for MBON, though. I guess it's not a storyline, is it? Yeah, the single-player stuff is really just like missions that are kind of based on, like, we'll have the level, and then you can just pick the unit you want to be to go again. Or no, it makes you choose a unit, but then it has other units that are not canon with that. Yeah, it's like loosely based, but then what I like is you can import your own music. So I imported a bunch of music to play, like, songs specific to maps that were like in one of the shows, and then I would be like the specific mobile suit. Like I would do GPO1 versus GPO2 on that map that the beginning takes place in, and play the music. All right. NeoWave. Let's throw you in here. Hopefully this works. What's up, NeoWave?
Hello?
Hey there, man.
Yeah, hello?
Oh, hey, what's going on? I can barely hear you. That could be me. It's probably me. What's up, man?
Okay, maybe my mic.
Let me,
Is it better now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. What's up, man?
All right, how's it going?
It's going good. Good to talk to you. What's going on?
Well, wanted to speak about Code Fairy since not that many people have played about it, so we could
Yeah.
talk about it since we're on the topic of battle operations too.
Yeah. Yeah, what's up?
So first off, I actually do want to say that it is surprisingly good for what it is.
Yeah.
It's basically it's just battle operations 2 with a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because the major concern that a lot of people had and what made them want to deviate away from it was that they thought it would be too girly.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of interesting at first. When I saw that, I was like, okay, it seems real, girl focused. But then my mind is going, oh, that's kind of a default reaction, I would have as younger. Yeah, but that doesn't really apply anymore. That's kind of thinking, it doesn't matter. And yeah, it's still a great game, good story.
For what it is, it was actually surprisingly good. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's definitely something. If you like if you like, I can never say the acronym. Battle Operations 2. If you liked
Yeah,
that, you'll definitely like Code Fairy. While it
yeah,
is a bit girly in some cases, it still doesn't take away the seriousness of the actual story itself, because it is a serious story. War
yeah.
is never fun.
Yeah, especially because it takes place during the 1 Year War, during that later half when Xeon was realizing that they're gonna lose this, and some of those later levels too, near the end, are like what's going on, where they have to try to survive, what you're in and what you're doing. Yeah, it's good.
On top of that, also, I was glad just to see the last two writers.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I haven't even unlocked everything in that myself.
Me neither, but I'd rather not try, because me being a filthy casual when it comes to games, yeah, I don't really want to spend hours upon hours just trying to unlock one single mobile suit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and I'm actually surprised that the GM Spartan is actually considered. I think it's the one that's harder to get than the two riders.
Yeah, I haven't even got that one. Yeah.
It's because well, anyway. Also, we probably should tell the chat that this is going to go into spoiler territory.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think the spoilers are too crazy, right? Are you talking about one of the characters? Hold on a sec.
No, I'm not talking about the characters. I'm talking about the mobile suits, but even the mobile suits technically count as spoilers.
Hold on one sec. You can keep going.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I lost track right there.
Sorry, my light just went out. I forgot I didn't have it plugged in. But you mean the spoilers of the mobile suits that are in it?
Well, the thing is, if we do talk about mobile suits, that still technically goes into spoilers. But then again,
Yeah.
whatever they show in the trailers, it's not really a spoiler at that point.
Yeah, and they even show them in Gundam Battle Operation.
They do, but also in the trailers, if you look at Code Fairy, they show both the white and the black rider.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
That's true.
Yeah, and I can't wait for the kits to come out.
Oh yeah, that's right. I've seen those posted. Yeah.
They're already out, but trying to get them in North America, that's going to be a whole different story. That takes at least another 2 to 3 months, at least depending on the stores.
Yeah, and I'm wondering too if they might treat it like the Battlelog Gunpla, how those got out first in North America.
No, they're not going to.
Oh yeah.
Everything is P Bandai. That would include the Ifrit Jaeger, the Black Rider, and the White Rider.
Yeah, that would be great. That would.
But anyway, going back to the actual game itself, like, yeah, so it was surprisingly done well, and
Yeah.
and I don't know exactly if it was trying to bring in the audience from Battle Operations 2, or it was trying to get a more feminine audience, because Gundam has been trying to do that a couple times already, starting with Seed. But yeah, Seed, and then eventually with now coming up the Witch of Mercury.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so,
which is good. They need to do that a little more. The things being guy girl difference is only a matter of like how they're made. Yeah, it's one of those weird things. We're born and kind of indoctrinated into how society says things are a lot of times.
Not necessarily. But the Gundam, there have always been Gundam female Gundam fans. Ever since the first one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just came more when it came. They just came in droves after Seed. That's the only thing, because pretty boys with problems, all that jazz.
Oh. Okay, I see.
And a lot of the man service that was in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but going back on Battle Operations 2, yeah, as we both agreed, they should have just been selling every single mobile suit individually. I don't blame them for charging people and making it a bit microtransaction heavy-ish. It's just that because it's a free-to-play game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
that's
kind of a
why
weird one. Yeah.
that's why I give it some leeway. But when it comes to the loot boxes, like that's what just kills it. And honestly, I think Bandai should just, like I said, just make everything individual. Don't charge up the wazoo for because me, I was just trying to get all my favorite mobile suits, but that was
Yeah.
next to impossible.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I still don't have some of the suits that I want, and it's like I'm not gonna pay extra to try to get it. So I totally get you, man.
Yeah, I did that already. $100 gone, but that's yeah, but that's when I had money to burn.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool, man. Well, yeah, thanks for calling in. Yeah, anytime. Yeah, do it again on the next one. So, yeah, thanks a lot,
so
man.
I'm just gonna just a closing just a closing
Yeah,
statement.
yeah.
If anyone is interested in playing Battle Operations 2, I would say first start with Code Fairy. Actually, no, I'd start with Battle Operations 2, and then
Okay.
after you think that's fun and everything, then you could start playing Code Fairy, just to like either for practice or for just something to cleanse your palate after whatever, and also just to have a bit of enjoyment. But if you're gonna get it, make sure to get the bundle, not the each episode individually, because it actually costs more to get each episode individually than it is to get the bundle.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, that is a good point because if you start Battle Operation 2, they do have the training that you can do and then do a couple matches because then when you do get into Code Fairy, it also does a little bit of training as well. So you can kind of really get a feel for the game.
Yeah, no, it actually did help a lot, Code Fairy. It
Yeah.
actually did.
Some of those
Yeah,
missions were tough and I had to like figure out how to be quick about things.
the last one, my God.
Yeah. I know. Well, cool, man. Well, thanks a lot.
No problem.
All right, I'll see you later.
Ciao.
All right. Well, that was cool. Good. Yeah, let's look at this chat. I've heard Halo has gotten downhill. Yeah, really the content they're delivering, sure. And now for talking mains for DBO2, I'm definitely all about the Jabera Tetra and the Rigazi Custom. Yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. I'm in the call room now. Oh, yeah. Okay, we got you. Cool. Slager Law. Oh, Slager Law here. That's cool. Yeah, boy, you rock. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, guys, yeah, give me feedback on the volume. I did have it turned down a little bit, and then I turned it up, but, yeah, I got to remember that for next time. The girly name didn't help. LOL. You know what's funny? Code Fairy. So I do a lot of ancient research of history, mythology, etc., etc. Fairy before was meant to denote someone that had vast knowledge and could have potentially been large, as in their tribe of larger people that also had vast knowledge. That's supposed to be like Pharaoh. That's where Fur came from, Pharaoh and Fairy. But I think there was I don't know, this sounds conspiratorial, but there was a reason to make Fairy seem like a small little winged creature in order to take away from maybe the true nature of it. I don't know if that's really the truth, but that's kind of what some of my research has brought to me. But anyway, Code Fairy is based. Kind of missed opportunity to not have the Noisy Fairy fight the Mudrock or Amuro, though they fought Blue Destiny Unit 1. Yeah, I guess because of where it took place and everything, the timing. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I give him better, but he's really low. Okay, at least I got better. New question here, but what is P Bandai? Yeah, premium Bandai, exclusive content locked to the site. And sometimes they will release that stuff. Like, there is some stuff that you can go on Amazon and get for normal prices. That's why I really think because this, the Battlelog Gunpla came out in North America. I do think some stuff that were just announced as P Bandai for now, they will then be distributed because that's what even, I talked about in the last podcast, Bandai Namco purchased Bluefin, who's doing the American distribution. And I think the idea is to really have a separate arm so they can allocate and have specific things sold through them. So it could happen. Yeah, but what they will never tell you, that Gundam Wing was super popular with the girls. That's cool to know. I did not know that. I never, the Pretty Boys with Problems was in Wing 2. Yeah, when I was in, I guess Wing came out by the time I was like junior or senior in high school, so I never really heard much about that. The problem could have been my mic if it is, and then I'd be busy. These are Gundam theme Aces headphones. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. It could have been me because I had my desktop audio turned down, and then I ended up turning it up more. I can mess with the levels for next time, for sure. The audio wasn't bad. It was just low. Discord's weird with that sometimes. Yeah, so yeah, I'll get better at it. So that's cool. All right, so I wanted to... Something else was brought up in the Discord that I never heard of before, and it's this emblem of Gundam, and it's a... let me check something here real quick. Oh, I've been going on for a while, have I? I want to kind of get to something else, but yeah, it's a Nintendo DS game, and this is the best video I could find. It's all stretched out. But it... let me see if I can get to some animation of it. Yeah, it looks like it's a turn-based game, but it has some pretty cool animation if you see this. Like, you know, it reminds me of those SD games. Let me see if it shows a mobile suit here. Yeah, was it around... Yeah, look at that. I mean, this looks pretty cool. It's like a turn-based tactical strategy game. I mean, yeah, it's all stretched out, so it doesn't even look that good, even if I zoom in. Anyway, just wanted to show this off because, again, because of the Discord, something else I never heard of that I found. All right, so this is awesome. I'm a fan of ships. I think it's how I got into Star Wars. And I guess someone that... I just want to show their source... person who did this, that is their name. That is their name. I don't know how to say that. But they put... Oh, okay, I can zoom in. They put this together where they took the UC core fighters and made... yeah, this is awesome. Like, I love this stuff. I would love to have some sort of toy of each one of these. But they named them all here. Actually, let me do the link. I'll throw that in the chat if you guys want to look at that, because that's really a cool way to look at the different core fighters, because I don't think core fighters get as much love as they should. I mean, you can recognize some of them I can't. Like, that's turn A. We've got Victory is pretty obvious. We've got Zeta, the original, and then, oh yeah, that's that other Victory. And then Advance of Zeta, Stardust Memory, Crossbone. Yeah, I mean, and that's what I like about Thunderbolt, is they do have some cool scenes where there's some ship-on-ship action. So, let's see. Wing was more popular in the West than in Japan, so the female fan base was most likely from the West. Okay. Speaking of audio issues, I can hear kids in the background. Hey, Lucas. Hey, Lucas. You gotta keep it down a little bit, okay? Yeah, I'm letting him do the VR thing, but he has limited time on it, and he sometimes gets a little too excited, and we have to try to keep that down. So thank you very much. Because I have to tell them. He gets embarrassed sometimes if I mention him. Dude, I so want an English translation of Yearn's Greed. Yeah, I haven't been able to even try playing that. I also like fighters. I just recently finished building, panelining my Vic Viper. Okay, you need to post that in the Discord. I love the Vic Viper. I actually have I bought this maybe 10 or 15 years ago. They had these gashapons you could buy from Japan that were fighters from shmups, and you can build them. And I got from, yeah, Gradius, Darius. What are some of the other ones? I can't think off the top of my head. R-Type, a few others. I love that stuff. The ones in the front of Crossbone. Yep. Here's a solution to the kid problem: duct tape. Hey, Lucas, how about that? Some duct tape? Mom bought some tape today. Oh, for your mouth. I don't know. Yeah, you got a mouth. All right. And then just something else I found that was funny. Like, what is this? This is Fetty soldiers and Xeon soldiers, and they combine to form a mecha. I mean, that seems awesome and scary at the same time. I mean, there's no words to describe what I'm showing. Oh yeah, that was that thing. Okay, I wanted to talk about this real quick. I know we're near the end. The RX-94 mass production type new Gundam. So I guess I didn't realize there was a mass production type new Gundam. It was first shown in MMSV. This thing looks sick. You know, one of the main things about this that makes it a little different, other than the look of it is awesome. But it's got this INCOM, a remote weapon designed for use with the quasi-Psychomu system. These disc-shaped devices are armed with internal beam guns and controlled via wire cables every time an INCOM changes its flight direction. It deploys a tiny relay INCOM to hold the wire in place and maintain its connection to its parent mobile suit. When the pilot recalls the INCOM, it retraces its course as the wire is retracted. The mass production type New Gundam can mount 2 INCOM units, each containing 2 INCOMs on the size of its backpack as an alternative to the new type use fin funnels. They allow pilots with no new type capabilities to use remote weaponry. Yeah, this thing is awesome. I got to find out if there's a model kit. I don't think there is. I think there's like an SD, right? Yeah, there's an SD. Not as interesting. But yeah, if there was a model kit, are there supposed to be pilots of that? 94? Okay. Yeah, I love the add-ons on it too. Yeah, this thing looks awesome. Totally. That image reminds me of Legion from Castlevania. I know Castlevania, but I love Castlevania. Oh, yeah. Wow. That's awesome. Let's see. Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, I remember that. That is awesome. Love it. I just saw it says I haven't watched season 3 yet, and it's in season 3. Dang, I'm gonna have to watch that. I really like that animated series. That is a pretty sick ship, Neon Wave. And then those ladies are most likely just AE workers. Oh. Okay, yeah, I guess that's developed by Anaheim Electronics. So, well, all right, everyone, that's the show. Thanks for joining and being awesome people to chat about Gundam with. This is the most exciting thing I do every week. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Let's see. I hope there's some more exciting news that comes out next week. Yeah, I would love, more just news, because I feel like Gundam's at the cusp of new things coming out with the metaverse, the games, and all that stuff. So anyway, yeah, well, thanks for watching. And I guess, we'll talk again later. See you guys. Oh, wrong one. There we go.